So in this video, we are going to see how to proceed with the ICSE syllabus in chemistry. Now, why have I made this video? Why am I making this video is because I feel that when the question paper comes in front of the students in ICSE, because of the syllabus is so vast. You have inorganic and you have organic and you have the periodic table, you have electrolysis, you have metals and non-metals metallurgy, and then you have stoichiometry. Okay, so you have so much of it in ICSE chemistry that when the child, the day before the exam, the child is entirely confused. The child feels, the student is entirely confused. The student tries to finish sulfuric acid and then it feels everything is forgotten in nitric acid. Okay, so how to handle this situation? And once it is, when it comes to the question paper, it is very common to feel that, it feels that the entire question paper, it's all mixed up. It's all mixed up. It doesn't know which question is coming from which chapter. This is the condition of ICSE chemistry students when once the full portion is done. One by one chapter they will write in the test. When everything is mixed, then starts the problem in ICSE chemistry. So you have to handle it properly from the beginning. So now since only 2 months are left, so let us see how to work on this. One thing that I want to tell is very important is your periodic table. Now, periodic table is not something just to get marks. It is not a chapter only to get marks. There is a reason for the chapter periodic table to be positioned right as the first chapter. Okay, and it is also taught in 9th standard. Why so? Why is periodic table taught first before you are taught any of the other things? The reason is periodic table is giving you an idea about all the elements together. Okay, so from the periodic table you will understand are metals oxidizing in nature, are non-metals oxidizing, which is reducing, which is oxidizing, which is electropositive, which is electronegative. Okay, then more things like gaining of electrons or losing of electrons, which is actual oxidation, which is reduction. Everything can be done by this. Everything can be understood better if you know your periodic table well. Okay, so you have to know your periodic table well in order to understand chemistry as a whole. Okay, now let's come to the second one. And please watch the video till the end, because till the end I'm going to give you many such sure shot methods where your idea about chemistry in ICSE syllabus is going to improve a lot more. Okay, so we are going to talk about such a method which is going to improve your ICSE much more. Okay, now another thing, what you have to give importance to, you have to give a lot of importance, write them separately, are the industrial methods. You have about 3 to 4 industrial methods. One is metallurgy of aluminium, then you have Haber's, you have Oswald's. Okay, so all these industrial methods, give them a special importance. Okay, conditions, difficulties, method of collection, and all the why is sulfuric acid not made directly, why is it later made from oleum. So all these questions, small questions which are based on the methods, okay, those you will have to do well, very well. Okay, so special importance to Haber's, definitely. Okay, Haber's process, then you have Oswald's. Then you have the third one is your aluminium extraction. You have aluminium extraction, that also is very important. Okay, so Haber's, Oswald's, aluminium extraction. In aluminium extraction, you have the question of what is added, is it fluorspar, is it cryolite? That question is a must every time. Why is it why is Al2O3, how is the property of Al2, which property of Al2O3 is brought into use in here? Because it is an amphoteric oxide. So how is it useful in this process? Okay, so all these questions are very important here. Okay, and of course in electrolysis the equations. Now there are lots of questions given in the chapter. Now here I want to tell the third point. The third point is know your properties of metals and non-metals well, like metal properties and non-metal properties. Now remember one thing, chemistry is not about you do metals, you do non-metals, or you did hydrogen last year and you forget about it, or you did you did nitrogen last year and you forget about it. Chemistry has to be remembered all together. Just like in your science, in your maths, if if you have gone to 10th standard, doesn't mean you can forget your 8th standard maths, or you can forget your 9th standard maths. Everything is useful. Same thing here. Now, what you learn in metals and what you learn, especially metals and non-metals property, I am telling you to remember. Why? Because I have seen students who go to 10th standard and then even then they don't know that the metal plus a strong metal plus water gives hydrogen. Okay, and they will not know that a strong metal along with acid gives hydrogen. Even metals, strong metals with bases also give hydrogen. Okay, these simple very basic equations also they don't remember, and what happens is these are the building blocks of your entire syllabus. If you forget this, you cannot remember the rest of chemistry, because a lot of it is based. Remember this metals and this it comes in acids, bases also, and this is useful even in organic chemistry, believe me or not. If you know this well, it helps you to remember even organic chemistry equations. So that is why this is absolutely important to remember the properties of metals and non-metals. Now talking about non-metals, even in 10th standard, sometimes students don't know what is a metallic oxide and what is a non-metallic oxide, what is an acid anhydride. Okay, why is it? What is the non-metallic oxide? How do we get some acids from non-metallic oxides? Which are those? What are the equations? Like sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide, then you have P2O5. Okay, so these all, how they dissolve in water and they form acids. So they are called acid anhydrides. Okay, so these things are very, very important in your chemistry syllabus. First, learn them well. Get a clear idea about these things and then proceed. Okay, coming to the next question. You must know your metal activity series. Okay, you must know your metal activity series. It is important. Okay, you must know your metal activity series. Also you must know this is important even for your metallurgy, and you should also know the electrochemical series. Okay, that is important in electrolysis chapter. Fifth is do all the questions. This I keep telling, in chemistry there's a whole lot of questions behind in the textbook. Do them. Okay, so there's a whole lot of questions based on the chapter. Complete all the questions. I might sound strange, but then there are many, I know, but if you do them, you'll get your 97%. Okay, so do all the questions in behind the chapter, solve them, get the answer, and the long answers, there's lots of short one word for, name the following, why this happens, all of them, and lots of equations. Complete the equations. You must know them. Okay, you must know all the answers. Next is we buy a lot of sample papers, we buy a lot of questions before the exam, but in chemistry I don't think you really need it, because in your textbook only, behind every chapter there are last 10 years questions with the exact date, the year of the exam given there behind in your textbook. If you are using Dalal or you are using any other textbook, all ICSE syllabus textbooks will have last 10 years. Please use a new edition in that case, because what happens is then you get the latest 10 years. Okay, so you have the last 10 years questions, all from that has come from that chapter is given behind every chapter. And it's very good to do, because they also write the where in which page will you find the answer. So you can immediately check the answer also. So if you are doing all those questions, you will find yourself much more confident in this chapter, in this subject. Okay. Now the sixth and the most important thing that I said is a sure shot method of getting good marks in chemistry. Now as I said, when you open the question paper, you don't know where what is coming from. Okay, is it from sulfuric acid or is it from, is it from metallurgy? You don't know. Okay, so to avoid that confusion, behind few chapters, like I will tell, behind sulfuric acid, nitric acid, okay, sulfuric acid, nitric acid, HCl, you'll find behind ammonia also, electrolysis, okay, electrolysis, then you have electrolysis, then you have, and also metallurgy. Okay, how to handle your equations, that is what I'm telling. That is the that is the main nightmare of every child, every student. So these I can see 6 chapters, at least these 6 chapters. What you should do is, you should behind every, at least in Dalal it is there, you have to see that there is a worksheet completely on equations, on all important equations of the chapter. Okay, so before you write in that worksheet, before it is still neat and clean, you just make 10 copies of each of those worksheets, of the equations worksheet, and then keep solving it in the worksheet and check your answers. Okay, so you make 10 photocopies and now only you keep it, and before every pre-board, and your final exams, you just keep working on them and keep them. You keep working on them and keep checking them. By the end of the 4th or 5th worksheet, you will find that you have started remembering where, in which chapter, which equation is there. Okay. Now this is not that difficult. Actually what happens, you will see that few of the equations from H2SO4 you will also find in some other chapter. Okay, similar equations but with a different, you'll also find in HNO3. They get repeated, many a times they get repeated. Okay, so this is how you'll have to manage your ICSE chemistry syllabus. Okay, so that is it for today. If you have liked the video, do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Okay, and I hope you'll follow these methods, you'll find this useful. Try it and see, and also leave a comment behind if you have difficulty in any particular chapter. I will try to make a video on that and I shall be uploading that video. Okay then, thanks all of you. Bye then. If you have liked the video, then please press the like button and also subscribe to the channel. Okay, it is very motivating to me to see that you all are liking my videos. Thanks all of you. Bye then.